and we've got to talk to this one. Anxiety is an emotion, or worry. Worry is an emotion that has really, we've seen sharp uptake in not just with children but also whānau.
Welcome to Fika's Focus. Voices leading change.
Okay, kia ora everyone. Welcome back. We're just talking about another pillar of the Kura Club. That's what we're talking through, eh? We've got pillars of Kura Club being oral language, emotional and social competence. So today we're going to talk about emotional competence. So Rose, can you just define for us what that is?
So I think the goal is for us to help our tamariki understand different emotions, what makes them feel that way, and being able to give them a name. So if you're feeling angry, what does that feel like, and how do I know that that's what's happening to me, that I'm feeling angry? So being able to identify the emotions is a good start, and then understanding in different situations what you might be what might make you feel that way, and then how to navigate those, because obviously it's one thing to know the feeling, but okay, if I'm feeling angry, how can I help process that? Not necessarily get rid of it, because that's not what we want to teach them. All emotions are valid, and they are something that we're going to have to deal with in our daily life. So not necessarily like getting rid of the emotion, but how can I process that and understand it so that I am able to continue on.
So
If that makes sense.
Why is this such a critical pillar for our children in the Kura Club, and obviously in their success going into school?
I think the ability to identify and understand your emotions is going to help you navigate life healthily.
Yeah, life. We're talking life.
Not just school, like all facets of life in a healthy way.
The way I kind of have looked at it is it's like, you know, there's a reason why farmers' children become farmers. It's because the building blocks from basically when they're born is to be out on the farm. And they're so used to being out on the farm. And I went to school with the Sneddons, and Toby Snedden was going to be a farmer through and through.
Yeah.
You know, and they always won the calf club, and they always won, you know, that was just, and the way we deal with emotions is by starting young, acknowledging, not dampening, not you know, you're not allowed to be angry, you're not allowed to be sad, you're not allowed to, you know, those carrying negative connotation towards the emotion to the point where it almost embarrasses people. You know, I can't feel sad because that's embarrassing.
I need to hide how I'm feeling because it's not okay.
And ultimately that's created havoc in our society today. But what we're trying to do is give a forum to process emotion in an appropriate way.
In a safe way.
In a safe way. In a way that...
Not just physically safe, but like emotionally, mentally, like your well-being holistically is important, and one part of that is your emotional well-being. So being able to understand this, like honestly, my goal, I have a 4-year-old and he will be joining Kura Club obviously, but it's like what I want him to be able to do is actually not only understand how he's feeling in the moment, but also understand that if I go into that situation, this might happen. So he's able to actually predict that, I know that makes me upset, so I can avoid feeling that by going in with a different strategy. Does that make sense?
So some of the common emotions we are seeing, and we've got to talk to this one. Anxiety is an emotion, or worry. Worry is an emotion that has really, we've seen sharp uptake in not just with children but also whānau. It's I think the window of obviously us going through a worldwide pandemic has kind of highlighted some of that stuff, but the ability for a child to process, navigate emotional anxiety is extremely hard, because it's a very hard emotion to communicate.
And it probably feels different for everybody. Like some people might get the sweaty palms, some people might get a funny feeling in their tummy, some kids get a headache.
Yes.
Like often it can actually feel different for everybody. So it's
and it can actually come out in different ways too.
Yeah.
See, some kids pull away, withdraw, hide. Some kids explode.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a major confusion in some of that, in understanding that anxiety isn't just the child in the corner just blocking themselves off and hiding. It actually manifests in many ways, and I myself have dealt with anxiety for years, and in those scenarios, quite often you don't even feel it creeping up. So the skill of the educator in that space, they're actually trying to diagnose anxiety that could be presenting itself in many different ways. It is a hard role to ask.
Yeah, but it's just knowing, like, creating an environment where kids know that it's okay to have worries. Like, we don't expect them not to think about, we want them to be thinking about things that are coming up. I just think of Quinn, like my own boy, he often will go through the next day what is going to happen. At nighttime, it's part of his thing because he needs to rehearse in his mind what's going to happen. So who's dropping him off at daycare? Which of his friends will be there? What teachers will he see? What might he play with? And those are conversations we have every night, and that is purely because he thinks about those things, and that helps with his emotion of worry that he sometimes gets.
So Frankie's one is so funny because they'll probably kill me for this later on in life, but our kids got knits in the weekend, and so they were watching. Now Marlo's anxiety, literally, she was like, she lost it, and Frankie got her knits treated, right? And we're walking down the stairs. She was all good. Frankie was calm as, and she says to me, "You know what, Dad? Marlo, she's so scared of knits, but I'm not." And I go, "Yep." And she goes, "But I'm so scared of the dark."
Yeah.
But she's not.
Yeah.
So there was a child actually articulating their anxieties, the anxiety
what worries them,
and the worry.
Yeah.
And actually that's where I
and
know...
being able to empathise with her sister about it.
Yes,
Like, actually, I'm not scared of this, but I am scared of something else. So I can understand the way Marlo's feeling because I felt that before, but somewhere else.
Yes.
Yes. So that's emotional
she's actually
awareness.
built a cool bridge in there. But also what it gives me, again, a further chance to do, like when we went to the skate park last night, and I said to Frankie, "Look, we're not going to argue about going to bed. I know you're scared of the dark, but we've got to..." And she's like, "Yeah, I just need to make sure I've got my teddies." And exactly what you're talking to with Quinn. Yeah. She starts planning. Yeah. And she actually takes control. Yeah. And in Kura Club, or in the expertise of preschool teachers and infant teachers for sure too, toddler teachers, it is being able to give them the tools to process.
Yeah, and it's conversation.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, lots of the Kura Club, it's talking about what school are you going to? What do they wear a uniform? Yeah. Do you know anyone that goes to that school already? Does your brother go there? Are any of your friends from here going to go to that school? What's your teacher's name? Have you been to the playground? Have you seen the cool sandpit they have? Like, you get to wear a uniform, and it has some of them are really stoked because they know the story of what the logo is of the uniform. So that becomes like something that helps them process that is actually going to be their new place. And I think having those conversations, they get the chance to rehearse it, they get the chance to get their head around it. So when they actually go to that school, they're like, "Oh yeah, we've talked about this. I know that that's the playground. I know that that's my teacher. I know that this is where I'm going to come Monday to Friday. I know this, and I'm prepared for it." And honestly, some of the conversations you can have are at the beginning of Kura Club, they're actually a little bit worried about it. Yep. Or nervous, or maybe even sad about leaving their friends. But through talking about it and processing it, they understand that they're prepared for it. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. And they still might on that first day feel nervous, but they're actually, if we hadn't had all those conversations leading up to it, and parents are having those conversations at home too, then imagine how much more that worry might be. But because we've chipped away at it and we've spoken about it, and they've had the chance to mentally prepare themselves. Yeah. Okay. And then by the end of Kura Club, they're normally like, "Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready to go."
Bye.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Rose. That's emotional competence.